Hi, this is Ian from Bonded Voices. Each month we will be giving away $100 in gift cards to our fans. All you have to do is register on the bondedvoices.com site and solve the monthly puzzle. It's easy to do, no purchase necessary. Thanks for being a listener.
Welcome back to Bonded Voices. Our topic for today, love and respect in relationships. And sometimes those terms don't feel the same. And sometimes when you're being respected, you might not feel loved. But it's important to understand what's the other person looking for in the relationship. What are your boundaries? And how do you navigate this? I'm Greg.
I'm Ian.
And this is Loren.
Greg, one thing I love about this subject is that I don't think love alone can carry a relationship through. I know I've had it in my life, and this isn't a sob story, but a girlfriend left me and she said, "I love you dearly, I just don't want to be with you anymore." And that creates such cognitive dissonance, because you're like, hang on a second, I thought this was all about love. But it isn't. So it just shows that there's many other factors that play into it. And I think the respect side of things, it's almost like the yin and yang for men and women. Women want to be loved, men want to be respected.
That's a good point.
Well, and back to the point of the previous girlfriend that you had that loved you. So it's, we hear all these terms about love will get you through.
Right.
But there are times when it's respect of the relationship, of the significance of the other individual to me, and what that respect means that might push through situations where love might not be the first word.
See, I don't know if you can have love without respect. That's what I'm trying to... Because if you... I guess it's the definition of love, right? Do you love the whole person, and in that whole respect has to be part of it, or is it just a superficial...
Well, I hear you, but I think another thing that is part of this conversation is animal attraction is not love.
Right. That's what I was kind of getting at, is like we throw around the word love all the time.
Sure.
And it's more of lust, not love.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I still love you, but we're not meant for each other," is not the same thing as love.
But I think someone can say we're not meant to be together, but I still love you, because there's other factors that play into them wanting to separate. Think about it as like the guy who just can't get his shit together, right? Is never going to be able to provide. He can't provide safety, can't keep his job, and we cover that in another episode, right? You could still love that person, but do you respect them? Because all the things you are hoping as checkboxes outside of love, they're not doing.
But those are like, I don't know if that's respect. I think those are just like additional items that you need. I don't know if that would, for me, it doesn't qualify as respect.
This is an interesting...
It's a philosophical...
the significant difference between love and respect.
Like I can't...
Or I'm sorry, not significant difference. It's that you're seeing them...
As the same.
Yeah.
See, to me, they're completely independent of each other.
Can you...
See, I think you can have respect for someone and not love them, but I don't think you can love someone without respecting them, if that makes sense.
Oof. No, I don't know. I think it goes back to a little bit about what you said about how you define love, right? Because we use that term, let's make love. And it's not really much about making love. It's lust and, right, that sex drive. So love's twisted in a lot of ways. And then love's thrown out as a bit of a platitude. I love you. Is it really meant? Is it that deep? But at the same time, I think that when you have an emotion for someone that you consider love, and I think you see it in relationships where there's an abusive party. The person still loves the abuser, but they obviously don't respect them. They're in some twisted area, and the other way around, the person doing the abusing doesn't respect that person that they claim to love because they wouldn't treat them that way.
But again, I go back to claiming you love someone is not the same as loving them. So for me, I can't distinguish between the two. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying for me, it's like I have a hard time. Like for me, it's hard.
I think Lauren's taken the couch this episode.
I think so.
I'm off.
No, I'm just
and how
like,
does that make you feel? We've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I think like, can you like, if you say you love someone, you don't respect them, it's so superficial. It then becomes a platitude. Oh yeah, I just say it because you said it to me, so I'm saying it back. Or, I think I'm supposed to say it because I've watched enough, Hallmark Channel movies that this is the time that I say it.
So here's an interesting thought. Have you ever, within a relationship, and take it away from just the spousal relationship, or include it as an also, disrespected someone?
Have I ever disrespected someone? Oh, definitely.
Right.
Most definitely.
Right. So you can't dislove someone, right? So the idea of being respectful is that you're not going to say something, but you can disrespect someone. I don't think it means you don't love them. It just means you're a bit of a jackass, right? That's all of a sudden been disrespectful. But the difference being that I think people, and especially men, will put respect on a pedestal. And women will put love on that same pedestal. And there's definitely like, and it's maybe 80-20 both ways. I would even think, I'd go as far as saying that men want to be respected. If your wife turned around and said, I love him, but he's just a bit of a doofus, but he's my doofus, that's not going to make you feel like...
That sounds like a Disney television show. But let's move on.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, right? You see some of these TV shows, and especially today, where the guy's treated as if he's an idiot.
Absolutely. Name a sitcom that they're not.
Right, and that's not respectful. Mm-hmm. And they may be like, oh, we love each other, but it's like, but you all... And here's, I think, one of the keys to it. If you're around a bunch of your friends and your significant other treats you in a way which is disrespectful, all of your friends are not going to look at you the same way if that just stands.
Shouldn't.
They shouldn't, right? And they won't, because they'll be like, what's in Bob that he can be disrespected and even publicly humiliated?
But going back to what I said, would they say, oh, he's Bob's being disrespected by his significant other, she really loves him? They wouldn't.
But none of them would say she obviously doesn't love him.
I think I would if I saw something that was like, I'm like, I would say if they're being disrespected, I would say, oh, there's no love there.
Oh, that's a no love. That's pretty absolute.
Yeah.
Back to the couch. That's hugely absolute.
Well, my parents were married and divorced quite a few times.
see, here's the crazy part, right? And I think this plays into a lot of relationships as well. People using absolutes. And it's always been a pet peeve of mine because everyone, blah, blah, blah. It's oh, really, everyone? No. Well, Bob doesn't do that. Well, generalizing, right? Or whatever, but it's...
But everybody else.
Yeah, right. So that absolute statement is in a way disrespectful, especially if it's used as a lever for something else. But yeah, I don't think that if you had an argument, an open argument in public, I don't think that would show, and you said things, right, that were like, whoa, that's going to be big. I wouldn't say he doesn't love her then, but in the middle of an argument, and that's just disrespectful.
Or I don't think you can be disrespectful. Again, I go back to, I don't think you can be disrespectful and love someone.
So are there levels of love?
Oh, definitely. So
It's not binary?
Well, so I would think, so if you say you
That's
love...
great, by the way.
Right.
Great.
That's a good one. You got me thinking.
Back to the couch.
Well, let's see. Well, again, it goes to the classic definition of love. What do you define as love?
Well,
okay, wait a second. Honey, do you love me?
100%.
10% for sure.
10%?
Yeah, right. What? Oh, no, 25. What?
So just because you don't verbalize it, there's people do have levels of love. Just because it's not verbalized, I'm willing to bet.
See, for me, it's binary. I either do it or not.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is back to the disrespect statement. So, for example, if I forget to open the door for my wife, but she's so used to me opening the door for her, then is that disrespectful?
In a very minor way, probably.
But is that a different level of love that I forgot to open the door that one time? Because
I'd say no.
Like I'm just posing a situation here.
So what we're saying, there's levels of disrespect, but not levels of...
Yeah, well, because think about this. Like, let's say you're in a bunch of guys, and you're like, my wife can't cook to save her life. She's awful at that. But that's kind of disrespectful to throw that bomb out there amongst people, especially if they know your wife and that sort of. But even if they don't, it's kind of rude to do it anyway.
I would say it's disrespectful.
Right, so it's disrespectful, right? But again, like, I don't think that it changes the fact of whether you love someone or not, because people can just be jackasses.
All right. So what about a situation where not necessarily a significant other relationship?
Yeah.
What about a sibling? What about a relative? Where can you love them but not respect them, or can you respect them and not love them?
I always think you can respect someone and not love someone. I think the tying it.
That's perfect. Then they are disconnected.
That's what I said. Like I said,
They're disconnected that way.
That way, but not the other way.
With love, there is always respect.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you got the Venn diagram there. It only goes one direction. It doesn't go both ways. You can respect someone and not love them. Because I know you respect the current president, like dramatically, but you don't love him.
Yeah, and you never would a public figure like that, right?
Right, but you can respect a public figure.
Yeah.
And I was being...
And people
totally
use like and love for stuff like that, interchangeable, where I think a lot of times they mean like and they don't love, because love's definitely an emotional state, and it's also, I think there's an ethereal bond that comes with loving someone. Right, but again, like I think you've hit on something here, which is, I think early on, love and respect are connected, because you probably would respect someone first before you love them. Like, you wouldn't be like, this girl's a prostitute, she's beautiful, and I'm falling in love with her, but she's a prostitute. Right, so there's that lack of respect there. So there's the disrespect there. and you couldn't change that, right? But you could fall in love, because that's an emotional bond that you get. But I think to have that start a relationship, I think we all have it with our spouses, is you respected and loved them when you got married to them, and committed to them, and because the other side is you wouldn't be sleeping around if you respected them, but you could still love them.
Well, so what I was going to say is that's a good point. Well, I don't know. If you love them, you wouldn't be sleeping around. So there's that.
No, but remember, love's the emotional part.
Right. So here's the question. Once you love someone, does it ever turn off or on? So when you disrespect someone...
If it's binary, yes. Because it wouldn't go in degrees, right?
Well, you could. 0 degree. 0 is a degree.
Well, it's off.
Yeah. So, but if you disrespect someone, can you really disrespect someone if you love them? You may not love them at that moment.
See, so it would be, but what would disrespect them? So I think we start getting into what is that saying? Hate the sin, love the sinner.
Yeah.
And so, let's say a significant other, some course of events causes some reaction, some situation that becomes something that a lack of respect of that action. They break some crime, they commit some crime, they do something that the person decides, I didn't love what they did. I no longer love this person. How could I have ever loved this person? I mean, that's one of the things that's fascinating to me is when people go through a divorce, of how did they go from standing at the altar, I would do anything for this person, to if it's a battle.
See, I'd say it's the lack of respect, because I think emotionally, like I think love is binary. You either love someone or you don't. I don't think there's degrees of it. I love them a little. It's like I'm a little pregnant. To me, it really is there. And I've said disrespectful things to my wife, but never not loved her when I've apologized, right?
But see, at the apology, you loved her. But when you said the disrespectful things...
No, love had nothing to do with it at that point.
Right, so then the love is not there. So
no, it is there. But see, to me, love's a flame. Right? And the flame's burning, and it's either on or off. But the respect level of things, I think, has degrees. I think you see it in the way, if a man has healthy groups of other male friends, your wife will respect you more. And in a lot of ways, that manifests from women in being loved more as well. You've heard it, honey, I love you, but you're an idiot. Right?
Well,
enough of that. The love part becomes like, you think I'm an idiot.
I think there's definitely some clarification on that last statement of men that have groups of friends, as long as those groups of friends are also providing love and respect.
Well, again, they've got to be solid guys. You can't just be a bunch of gang members or something, right?
Yeah, that or a bunch of adulterers. Or a bunch of whatever it might be, cheaters.
Because show me the man, and show me his friends, and I'll show you the man, right? The character idea, which is so true.
Very interesting topic.
So,
I didn't really think it was going to go this way.
Have you enjoyed the couch?
Yeah.
Is it comfortable?
So,
why do you guys keep looking at me? This is making me very uncomfortable.
We've adjusted the chairs, and now
this
Loren
is very uncomfortable.
So look, this is a topic I'd love to hear from people on the website and your experiences around that. And even if you've got stories you'd love to delve into more around this whole love and respect thing, and maybe even examples of experiences in your life, and or if you think, because we've openly debated this, is love binary or is it in degrees? And is respect binary or is it in degrees? And you've heard my thoughts on it. So yeah, get on bondedvoices.com and just give us your feedback on that. So my takeaway would be, think it through, but be very conscious of disrespecting your partner. And I think for the ladies out there, if you want to be loved more, make sure you're with a guy you respect.
Yeah. I think it's a matter of just communication, understanding what your partner, what trips their trigger. Because the 80-20 rule, your partner might be looking for more respect than love.
True.
Depending upon how they're wired. So, but that's also showing love and respect by having that conversation and opening that dialogue.
Yeah.
I think it all goes back to conversation, and like you guys were saying, that's my takeaway would be.
It would be really interesting. Please jump on the website. Let us know your thoughts. Definitely would love some input on this.
So until next time, I'm Ian.
I'm Greg.
And this is Loren.
And we'll love and we'll respect you. Until next time on Bonded Voices.
Get off the couch.